Let's have toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Adventures and Spirits, and welcome to Spirit Scrutiny. We are in the middle of our red wine series, and today we will be talking about the Cabernet Sauvignon grape. Okay, so Cabernet Sauvignon is a grape that can be grown everywhere. Everybody knows Cabernet Sauvignon. If you go to any wedding, if you go to just any generic place that is serving wine, if you go to any function where you only have a red or a white served, the red almost all the time is a Cabernet Sauvignon. And the white, unfortunately, most of the time is a Chardonnay. Okay. But today we're focusing on the red wines, and that's Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm here today to just show you and tell you about the Cabernet Sauvignon grape and see how this one tastes, because it grows in so many places and is prepared so many different type of ways that you don't know what you're going to get when you open up a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. So I will be tasting this along with you today. Okay, so let's get into the actual Cabernet Sauvignon grape. So this grape, as stated before, is grown in nearly every major wine producing country and amongst a bunch of diverse spectrum of climates. And as I've stated before in a previous episode, that the climate, the soil, the environment, the cultivation of the actual grapes and its harvesting, all of that plays a role in the taste of the actual grape itself. So the more diverse, the more differences you're going to taste depending on who's making it, who's bottling it, who's harvesting it. Okay. The more consistent in terms of the environment and the cultivating and the harvesting of the actual grape, the more consistent the taste is. Okay. It's internationally recognized through its prominence in Bordeaux wines, where it's often blended, usually with a Merlot or Cabernet Franc. Okay. It's very dry, not semi-dry. It's very dry. And it also pairs well with lamb, beef, poultry, hard cheeses, and spicy foods. And the cost is not all that bad because it grows everywhere and it's so easily accessible. And you may pay about $20 to $100 for a bottle. Okay, it can go depending on who's making it and how rare it is, and maybe it was rare because it was a good year that year. But I have never tasted $100 bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. The most I've seen I've tasted a Cabernet Sauvignon would be somewhere probably in the 30s, maybe 40. But I have not tasted or seen a bottle that I've tasted anything over $40. So let's get into how this wine tastes and what we have today. So today we'll be tasting the Vintera Cabernet Sauvignon. It's Napa Valley, okay, California, and it's a 2011. And this one has an alcohol content of, again, 13.5. So it's consistent. So as stated before, it'll get you boozy. So never sleep on wine. So last episode, we talked about the different wine openers. Okay. And just wanted you to know today we're going to try the electric wine opener. Okay. But we still need to score the actual plastic off. So I still have my handy wine opener with the scorer on the tip of it, right? So I'm going to use that to score the actual top of the plastic off of the, or should I say the wax off of the wine top. So I'm gonna go around. Easy, easy peasy. Take that off. And we're going to use the electric one. Now, I don't really care for this electric opener. Supposed to put it on there. You push the button and the little corkscrew is supposed to wind down. And then you're supposed to hit the top button and it's supposed to pull it up. But to me, the reason why to me it doesn't work all that well is because when you do it to go down, you know, it'll go, but then when you go to go up, I'm thinking, isn't it just gonna just unwind itself? But we're gonna try this today, okay? I don't use this often, so we're gonna try it together. Okay, so we're gonna put the head in here. Okay, we're gonna put the head in and we're gonna screw real good and press down. And then when it gets down to here, now you want to hit the up button. See what the hell I mean? So I'm gonna put it on here again. And I'm gonna go down. Now my guess is, am I supposed to pull this damn thing out or what? Damn thing's still on. I just don't know how to use the damn thing. This was given to me as a gift. Okay, so this is what we got. So am I supposed to pull it down and pull it up? Because if that's the case, I could just use the darn what do you call it? Okay. No, y'all. It's doing something, but it ain't doing enough for me. So guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to use this. Now, I'm not saying don't get it, because obviously it worked for some people. It might be a user error. But for some reason, I just prefer to do this myself. Get this in the middle because it's already been scored. So all right. And then I'm gonna pull it up. Get this lever on here. All right. Got this cork out. Not using that automated thing, it ain't working right. To me, it makes sense that if you put it on there and push the button down, if I pull it up, it should be pulling the actual cork up, but it did. If I still got to pull it and twist it and all that stuff, I might as well use a cork opener. Defeats the purpose. So, anyway. All right, so let's see how this Ventura Cabernet Sauvignon tastes. So, let's go ahead and pour it through the aerator. Again, you only need the aerator. You only need the aerator if you haven't left your bottle open for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go on and twirl this. Okay, this is the same color as the Malbec. It's like a red ruby color. A little darker though than the Malbec, just a little darker. And the actual body of it, the legs are running very quickly, so it's not as heavy bodied as the last two, as the Malbec and the Pinot Noir. So I would say it's light bodied. It's not heavy bodied. It sort of runs just as if it was like water almost. All right, so let's go and give it a whiff, won't we? Okay, this one doesn't have much of an aroma. Somewhat bland. It sort of reminds me of the Pinot Noir that we tried previously. Like it gives an aroma, but it is not strong enough for, just not strong enough. Can't even tell you what I smell. Okay, I'm beginning to smell something. Maybe it just needs to open up a little more. Berries. But this one is more on the raspberry side. Not the blackberry, but the raspberry side. Raspberry. I smell a little vanilla, so it just needs to open up a while. This Cabernet Sauvignon needs to open up more. The more that I twirl it and the longer that it's outside of the bottle, I begin to smell it a lot more. Yeah, it's opening up. All right, so raspberry. I do smell vanilla. And it's funny because I smell a hint of a nut and I shouldn't, but I do. And maybe that's just what my nose is smelling. But I can't describe the nut. It's not like a peanut. It's oh no, I'm sorry, not a nut. Cranberry, excuse me. Cranberry. I do smell the oak, but I also smell, like almost like a metal, if that makes sense. Well, let me go ahead and taste it. Never the first taste. I have to taste that again. Okay, so the feel of it is, I would say smooth, but it's a little more water. Tastes like just flavored water. It's not smooth, like it doesn't coat my tongue. Um, it is very the flavor of it, which what I taste, believe it or not, is only two things out of the things that I smelled upon first tasting it. And excuse me, I taste cherry and cranberry. I don't taste anything else at first. The taste is beginning to leave, so this one has a short finish and is dry. Is dry, not extremely dry. Like the Pinot Noir made my lips feel, the inside of my gums feel dry. This is dry. It's just not real dry, but it's also not semi-dry either. It's dry. And the more that the flavor, after the flavor has gone away, I'm trying to see if I at least taste some residual of something. And the residual isn't really giving me anything. It's just giving me watered down version of cranberry and cherries, basically. So let me give it one more taste. Still the same. Still the same thing. So what would I rate this one? Ventura. It's a cab, right? And I'm not that much of a fan of a cab. I will drink a cab, but they come in so many variations, and the flavors can be very broad. So I'm just gonna say for the Ventera, I'm not particularly caring for it. But then again, it kept opening up the longer that it was out and being aerated. So sometimes some of the wines you have to come back to and just try it in different ways, you know. So this Ventera, I'm not going to totally write it off. I'm just going to say I'm going to, you know, put a cork in it and put it in the cooler or whatever. And the next time, I'm just going to let it open and breathe a lot longer and then taste it again before I give it its final judgment of what I think. So for right now, Cabernet Sauvignon by Ventera, it's okay. I would just say I'm on the fence right now for this one because of the fact that it just has potential. It has the possibility of having potential. So I'll come back to it another time and see, you know, how that goes. Cabernet Franc, just so you know, is different from Cabernet Sauvignon. They usually mix together. Very seldom, I won't say seldom, but usually even if you get a Cabernet Franc, is usually blended with something else. So just wanted to share that with you because I do know that I did state Cabernet Sauvignon and Franc. But actually this one here, it is not 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. You have Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, a little Merlot, and you know what? That might be where the dryness comes from. But just know that whenever you read a wine bottle and it tells you what the percentages are, usually the first two grapes are usually the majority. If they don't have the percentages next to it, just know it's the first two. No different than reading ingredients on something. Usually the first 2 to 3 ingredients are the majority of what's in it. Everything else is just a small percentage of it. But this right here, yeah, this will need to breathe. It'll need to breathe though before making a judgment on it. So the verdict is still out about Ventera. But if you like this episode and you would like to continue to see my red wine series or just me reviewing other spirits, which I do whiskeys and bourbons and other spirits as well, please hit the like button and the subscribe and make sure you set your notification bell to on so you can get notifications for my next video. So next week on Spirit Scrutiny, continuing the red wine series, we will be speaking on the Syrah grape. I will see you all then.
Let's have a toast for the real